Alright guys, so we're going to keep going with 6.2, day 2. So if you look at example, I think this is still example 1, part C, we have 3 lines here. So my first line is x is greater than -2. So first thing I need to decide solid or dashed. This one's going to have a dashed line. Then I need to decide where I'm going to shade. Well, if I draw out this line, I know it's a vux, which means it's going to be a vertical line. So instead of deciding whether to shade up or down, I'm going to have to decide if I need to shade to the left. If it's greater than, that means that I need to shade to the right. So we're going to start by graphing this line. So I'm going to go to the x in -2, which is right here. Draw in my dashed line. And it's greater than, so I shade very lightly to the right so I can graph my other lines. My third line, or my second line, sorry, is y is greater than -3. So that is another dashed line. It's a y, so it's a hoi, which means it's going to be horizontal. And since it's this time I can decide if I'm going to shade up or down, I'm going to shade up. So now I'm going to my y-axis, putting a point at -3. I'm going to draw in my dashed line. And I need to shade up. Okay, my third line is y is less than or equal to 3/5 x plus 2. So since I have a less than or equal to, that's going to be a solid line. It's less than, so I'm going to shade down. I know that my m is 3/5. That's the number that's with x. And my b is a +2. That's where I'm going to begin. So when I go to graph this line, I put a point at +2. And then from there, I'm going up 1, 2, 3, right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and putting a point. And one more time the other way. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and putting a point. Then I'm going to draw in my solid line. And I stated that I needed to shade down. So my answer is where all 3 of these colors, that's going to be right here. And I'm going to make that dark so that you guys can see it. All right, let's try that one more time with 3 different ones. So the first line I have is y is greater than 2, or less than 2, y is less than 2. That's going to be dashed. I need to shade down because it's less than. It's hoi, so I know that my line is going to be horizontal. So when I go to graph this line, I'm going to go to 2 on the y-axis, put in my dotted or dashed line, and I want to shade down. Keep it light until the very end. All right, second line, I have y is greater than -3. That's a dashed line. It's greater than, so I'm going to shade up for this one. And it's another hoi, so my line needs to be horizontal. So I'm going to go to -3 and put a point. Draw in my dotted or dashed line. And we said we're up. Okay, one more line to draw. So we have y is greater than or equal to 4x minus 1. That greater than or equal to means that it's going to be a solid line. It's greater than or equal to, so I'm shading up. My slope is 4, and my b is -1. So I begin with b. I'm going to put a point at -1. And then from there, I'm going up 4, right 1. So I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, right 1. Up 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can also go down 4, left 1. So down 1, 2, 3, 4, left 1. And draw in your solid line. Now I know that I need to shade up is going to be this way. My double or my triple shading is right here. This is kind of like a little box. Okay? Last problem for these notes, we have a little bit of a word problem. So, example 2. Indie Hound is a doggy daycare for dogs while people are at work. Charge $25 per day for small dogs and $35 per day for large dogs. They need to bring in at least $525 per day to pay their expenses. Their building capacity is 100 dogs. If X is the number of small dogs and Y is the number of large dogs, will they be able to take in the following situations? So the first thing we want to do is label our graph. So it said Y is the number of large dogs. So over here on the Y-axis, we're going to put number of large dogs. And then down here on the X-axis, we're going to put number of small dogs. So they want to know, can they do 25 large dogs and 0 small dogs? So I'm going to start at 0, 0 for my X-axis. It said 0 small dogs, so I'm going to stay here. And then 25 large dogs. That's going to be about right there. So we want to know, is that in the shaded area? Well, it's on the border, but this is a solid line. So yes, that will work. The next one they want to know is 5 large dogs and 10 small dogs. So I'm going to go over to 10 small dogs. That's going to be about right here, right in between 0 and 20. And then 5 large dogs is going to be about right here, right in between 0 and 10. That is not in a shaded area. So that one is going to be a no. They cannot afford to do that one. All right, last one. 35 large dogs and 75 small dogs. So 75 small dogs is going to be about right here. And then 35 large dogs is going to be about right here. So that is also not in the shaded area, so that's going to be another no. So that's all the notes that we have for you guys today. If you guys have any questions, just feel free to email any of us. Hope you day.